and thank you for joining us. I want to welcome all the new folks. It's been a little while since we've done a global live stream, so aloha and welcome. Everyone take one moment before we get started and just reset. If you've been to any of our retreats, our seminars, live streams, calls, retreats, first thing I always do is, whatever I do in my life, first thing I do is I take a moment and I drop in here to still point. For folks that are new, take a breath, stop right in the space between the breath, and hold. You'll notice the way I did, I didn't do that. I didn't take the breath. I just kind of dropped in. And simply hold. Again, if you're new, you take a breath in, stop in the space between the breath at the top. Feels like holding the breath. Yet notice for a moment, particularly if you're new, take note, it's not holding the breath. As I hold here, it's kind of like a buoy, right? The breath is kind of gently going like this. It's gently going. And I'm resting here in this neutral state, kind of like the car idling. It's still on, yet it's resting here in this neutral condition. I always say, try holding a thought or an emotion while you're resting here. Can't do. Try find an area of tension or pain. This is neutral. When you set your condition to neutral, you don't hold things from the past. And not only do you not hold things from the past, the second key thing that happens, which is what I want to focus today's call on, today's live stream on, the second key thing that happens when you rest here in this space between the breath is this very subtle field. We call it the quantum field of energy. Quantum field I refer to as the envelope of energy that surrounds the body. This quantum field of energy starts to fill in. In fact, I want to dedicate, today's call is going to center around this field of energy. Yogis, mystics. To the yogi, to the mystic, and this is so key for anyone who's interested in the work that we're doing. My background is in yogic practice, yogic technology and practice, not postures, the art and science of cultivating your attention. And to any real shaman, any real yogi, any real mystic, meditator, the first key step that happens in the journey is you dissolve the condition of the body personality complex, which is one way to go through the experience of being on planet Earth. And as you dissolve that structure, you arrive into what many systems and traditions call the subtle body, or the subtle faculty. I refer to it as quantum field. In my life, this is the thing in my life every day that I am cultivating. And I'm going to share with you today very specific tools and ways to use our products, all of our products. In fact, I want to share with you real quick 3 key tools that we use in our lives every day to cultivate this state. The first one I've shared. Everyone take another nice big breath in. Stop right here. The more you rest in this state of still point, this field fills in with the energy of the universe. Whether you call it prana or chi or scalar or quantum, doesn't matter what name you give it. Whatever that neutral energy name is you want to give it, it fills in this envelope, this field of energy. In fact, I want to show one more thing before we shift to lasers. Everyone take a breath in, stop right here, and simply hold here for a moment. You know, the first step I share a lot in our gatherings and presentations and intro calls is to just drop in here. The second key step is to, I liken this to if you were filling up a tire with air. You fill up the tire with air and you put that nozzle on there, and as you put it on, you hold it. If it goes to the right, the air comes out. If it goes the other way, if you hold it right in the middle, hopefully you have a reference of what I'm referring to. If you hold it right in the middle there with care, not too hard, it doesn't work. Too loose doesn't. You got to hold it there right in that neutral place with care. Then the tire fills. Well, when I drop into still point every day, I drop in here and then I hold it with care. Not too much, not the breath going too much here or too much. As I hold it here with care, this field, like the tire, starts to fill in. To me, still point is like a nozzle. It's the nozzle to connect you, your condition, to the energy of the cosmos, the universe and beyond. And so try this. As you're holding it here, I'm holding it here. And for me right there, it didn't take long. I took a we call it still point response in our trainings. I took a breath or a sigh. That's still point response. When your body takes a breath or a sigh, now my field shifted. And now I'm not holding still point anymore. Now I'm resting in the quantum field. I call it fluffing up the field. Every day when I drop in still point, I drop into still point first to collapse any kind of things going on from the last moment. Physical, emotional, psychic, whatever the things are. If you hold here, those things abate. Once they abate, then I continue holding it gently with care until this field opens up. When the field opens up, that's when the exciting stuff starts to happen. I cannot say this enough. Healing, transformation, well-being, rejuvenation, longevity, and higher consciousness all come from nourishing of and from the subtle energy of the universe and quantum field. If you want those things, the doorway, the gateway is from the body into your quantum field. I cannot say this enough. The body personality complex, it comes with emotions and physical things, emotions, beliefs, all these different programs. When you collapse that structure, that operating system, and arrive into this condition, this neutral essence brings with it all the subtle qualities that make us who we truly are. Joy, happiness, peace, love, bliss, unity, happiness. I look to this state as the healer to resolve injuries, to resolve emotions, to resolve stress. The more we're resting and basking and bathing in this subtle energy of the universe, this energy can nourish our blood, nourish our lymph, nourish our organs. In particular, we're not going to get into lasers too much today, the specifics of them. I want to jump right into how to use them. Yet the key here to our approach to using lasers is that we are weaving a very specific type of wave called the scalar wave. And that scalar wave is key. The scalar waves, this is subtle scalar technology. It's part laser therapy and part subtle scalar. We're weaving scalar waves. Those scalar waves have one key benefit to me. They take anything linear, and they collapse it into nonlinear, which is all the shift from your body personality into your quantum field is. It's a shift from the linear trajectory of your life to the nonlinear trajectory of your life. So same whether it's a knee, whether it's a pain, whether it's an organ, whether it's the brain, whether it's an emotion, whether it's your whole condition. Anything that's in a linear trajectory, karma, same difference. Karma is inertia, right? Inertia coming from the past. The past on a wave is pushing the wave, it defines the next moment. Anything coming from your past is defining, whether physical, emotional, psychic, is defining your next moment in reality. As soon as you start to drop into the quantum field, you are dissolving the inertia from the past. And you're opening to unlimited possibilities for your experience based on what's real from a nonlinear perspective, who you really are, in essence. Pick one thing. I'm going to pick one thing to work on. I'm working on my liver. If you have an injury that you've been having or a situation or whatever's going on in your life, pick one thing. This is the key. If you learn this one thing from this live stream, how to find a program that puts you into this unwinding, if you don't feel anything, go to the next one. If you don't feel it again, go to the next one. If you don't feel anything in any of them, then pick any one. I have so many people in our network who use our products who tell me they couldn't feel anything at first. They just did whatever. They said it worked great, it helped, and eventually they started to feel when their body was going into this still point response. I have so many testimonials. So don't be upset or concerned if you don't feel anything. It's a very slight sensation of your body feeling. And if you're not sure, ask, would you watch, literally while you're using it, just say, would you watch this if it was a TV show? If you can't say yes, it's not the right program. Pick a different program. So I'm going over the liver, and I feel my body unwinding. I feel my liver and inadvertently my entire body condition dissolving. As it dissolves, guess what it dissolves into? You know, you are energy. You're holding form energy in your body and in your structures here. If you can loosen that structure, that form, guess where the energy goes? It relaxes into this field that surrounds the body. If you can every day go to that area and unwind it for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then come and do it again a little bit later, and then do it the next day. The goal of this process is to train your things, whether they're physical things or emotional or psychic, train the things you've been holding on to dissolve and arrive and reset back here into neutral. If you are versed in doing that, well then every day you are governing this condition as opposed to this condition governing you and all the things going on. That's what this process is. This process is about saying, well, hold on everything. We're going to drop into here, into the nucleus, into still point. Then we're going to open up this field. And then when we have the resources of the energy of the universe, of the cosmos, then we're going to go and deal with each of you different things. The way people on this planet have it is backwards. All these things are taking precedence and they're dictating what's going on in people's condition. I'm saying flip that. You reclaim your authentic integrity of being. And then set to work here. Using different tools. Still point, in our larger trainings, I show how to use your perception to go and dissolve things through quantum field process work, which we'll cover in another live stream, upcoming live stream. We're going to be doing a lot more trainings and things coming, so stay tuned. Or whether you use our products, say the laser, we'll go and unwind. You want to work on chakra, go unwind chakra. All right, great. Let's real quick. I want to show you one other protocol real quick. I'm going back to unwind, and I'm going to start over the adrenal glands. Adrenal glands. This is a 3-point protocol. The first point is the adrenals, halfway up the body on either side of the spine. I always go back to unwind when I do this protocol because almost always when I put unwind over the adrenal glands, it starts to dissolve me back into the quantum field. I should change this protocol name. It should be the quantum field protocol. I call it the unwind protocol because at first that's all it's relevant is unwind. Though in reality, if the more you do this protocol, 3 points. I'm doing the adrenals first, and we're going to move kind of fast because I want to cover a couple things here. The more you unwind your adrenals, if your adrenals are tight, they're going to pull your attention, your condition into the body personality. If you unwind the adrenals, they're going to decompress that attention so it opens up and fills in your field. Rarefies in subtle and opens up into your field. I'm going to the other adrenal right now. Anyone dealing with chronic pain, chronic emotional stuff, chronic autoimmune, chronic aging, chronic anything. Anything where the body is going worse, unwind your adrenals. Adrenaline makes everything go like this. It inflames everything. It stresses and inflames everything. So if you can decompress your adrenals, I always say that to me, the organs of your body are the organs. The organs of your quantum field, of your subtle body, are the glands. So the organs take care of your physical condition. The glands govern your subtle condition. We're going to touch on this in one moment, but first, this is the key start point protocol that I tell everybody every person I work with, I unwind these 3 things. Adrenals first. I just moved a little further onto the left adrenal there, and as soon as I did, you'll notice I took a big sigh. I took a big... I cannot say this enough. Unwinding this protocol had completely changed my condition here on planet Earth in the outer, which is why I share it, which is why I'm passionate about it, which is why I share it everywhere I go. It's why I do it on everybody I work with. Most people, glands get glandular entrainment. To me, glands are very exciting, and they work through a principle of entrainment, which is why when women live in a house together, their cycles come together. My goal is to clear the entrainment that people have from association with other people and get people tuned so the glands are attuned to their field, which is where true longevity begins. Longevity of consciousness, of being. Not about how long we live, it's about our state of consciousness. Okay, second key thing. That just felt great, by the way. I could have just told, I could, if I weren't here doing this, and I would have kept going. Now I'm doing the tailbone, sacrum, tailbone. I'm doing the sacrum, tailbone. I'm doing it in the front. You can do it over the pubic bone, right below the belly button, or you can do it directly over the tailbone. I'm still on unwind. Unwind's feeling good. If I find a program that feels good, many of the protocol, I'll find a program, my body's going like this, I'm unwinding. I keep going. As long as you feel your body, it's kind of like a rubber band where the body, where rubber bands keeps going. Well, when it keeps going, you keep holding it. It keeps going, going. Well, that's what we're doing. We're unwinding the condition of the body and personality condition. The knot. Yogis call it the knot. They call it the knot. Literally, they call it a knot. And they say that the key to the yogic mystic process is to keep unraveling that knot until the knot dissolves. And when it dissolves, the attention that's kept in the confines of the body personality, it opens into your being, into being. That's what this process is. All day long for me, drop in still point, unwind things. The more every unwinding you're doing, you're dissolving that contraction, that knot. And I'm still over the area here. Activate's a really nice program, but it doesn't matter what the program does or what it means. All that matters is, does it induce you to unwind? For now, simply try it for a moment, give it a little moment. Activate has a nice effect. It's kind of unwinding me. Some more. Tailbone is key. If your tailbone and sacrum are locked up, which happens in like high percent of people, the sacrum tailbone is locked up. Anyone with knee problems, foot problems, sexual health problems, digestive issues, chronic back pain, emotional issues, financial issues, relationship issues, any kind of contraction issue, the sacrum is often at play. So everyone I work with, I make sure we unwind, open the sacral area and open the tailbone from being tucked under. Hugely beneficial for opening the conduit, the flow of energy up and down along the spine. Hugely, hugely, hugely important. All right, third point I'm going to is the occipital ridge. Occipital ridge, the ridge line between the ears. I'm staying on Activate for the moment. It still feels good. That, by the way, another program to do down there on the sacrum is Wave. And I suggest you play around. Most people, when they first get our laser, I tell people unwind your adrenals, your sacrum, and your occipital ridge every day. For me, this is really good right now on the occipital ridge. Very, very beneficial. I can tell because as soon as I put it there, I'm going into still point. My brain is dissolving. My condition is dissolving. I basically make technologies that dissolve, very subtle, that are using subtle wave physics, scalar waves, tuned in a very subtle way. Our scalar is nothing like any other scalar out there. And the whole field of scalar, I want to say, is scalar is not some static thing. There are all these fascinating quintessence scalar theories. There's all this fascinating stuff happening in the realm of scalar mathematics and the fabric or energy of the universe. And basically, our approach to scalar is very different than anything else out there. We're not some strong scalar energy. This is very subtle. We're not sending scalar, we're inducing scalar. And when we induce scalar, it induces you to your own scalar energy state. Which, by the way, is the quantum field. All right, good. So occipital ridge, this is where the vagus nerve comes out. Vagus nerve governs your breathing, your digestion, your organs, your pulse, your circulation, governs the heart, governs everything. The vagus nerve is the key, it's like the coordinator for the symphony, the conductor. Vagus nerve is governing the entire physiology. I just changed to Wave. Wave. First I did adrenals to recap. These are 3 key things to do. I'm going to throw in one more 4th thing. Adrenals first, sacrum, tailbone second. It's really good on the sacrum. I could have unwound the sacrum a little more. Occipital ridge. When you find a good program, go with it. All right, those are the 3 key places. I want to show you one more, the temples. The temples, inside the cranium is the sphenoid. The sphenoid has the pineal pituitary glands resting on it. So many people, when more they are in their brain personality, they're always thinking. And when that happens, the sphenoid doesn't move. Yogis, mystics say sphenoid is like an instrument. and it vibrates to the neuroacoustics of the universe, different dimensions and planes of the universe, light and sound of the universe. And so it's like an instrument. When you go to sleep, this vibrates, and when it vibrates, the pineal pituitary get tuned, and they start releasing things that are very, very good for you, like DMT, dimethyltryptamine. Same stuff in ayahuasca. So yogis, when they meditate, they're tuning their condition to the cosmos and beyond, universe and beyond. So in my life, I make sure every day, I don't want my sphenoid to be too compressed and like this. I want to make sure it's relaxed, so it's vibrating and glands are releasing really good, subtle compounds to put... I tell you, the glands are the key. The glands are the key to... All right, those are 4 key points for the unwinding protocol or the quantum field protocol. Just to recap: adrenals, sacrum, occipital ridge, and then we finished off on the sphenoid. On the sphenoid. Once you get the hang, the reference of taking the laser and inviting something that's holding on like this to unwind, picking a program, you feel that still point response, you can now dig in on any injuries, any organs, any chakras, any glands, anything you want to work on. You can start to do the work of inviting, dissolving things to unwind. That is the essence of this approach. Everyone take a moment and drop in here to still point. Take a moment here, just tune in. For me, I don't do the breath. It's like a lens. I just kind of focus. Good news is the more you do this, the more you do this work, the more you get attuned and trained to very efficiently move from the state of being here as normal person on planet Earth to collapsing into this subtle yogic condition. The more you practice that, the more you get attuned. In any moment, you don't need the laser. You just reset and tune.